Thank you, Ron. Yes, governments, aren't they fun? Our 34 years ago this year, not only did I marry my wonderful husband John, sitting over there hiding, but we also bought our business. At the time it was called Branch's Paper Recycling, and there were 30 customers. A gentleman that worked for Pollution Probe at the time had been getting calls from small businesses that wanted to recycle their paper, but the only people at the time that accepted paper, you needed to save up half a ton of it. And not many businesses can save up half a ton of paper, much have a hard enough time finding room to save up 100 pounds. So that's how we made our niche. It got to be a conflict of interest with this guy at Pollution Probe, so we put it up for sale, and we happened to see it in the newspaper one day, and we bought it. 34 years later, we've served thousands of customers, set up thousands of recycling programs safely and successfully, and have had no problems. We set up just about every single school in Ottawa and the surrounding areas. We've won awards for our environmental concerns. Fast forward to January of 2017, and we received in our mailbox a hand-delivered letter from the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change in Cornwall, the MOECC, and this notice said that they wanted to be proactive and they wanted to come and inspect my facility. Well, we don't have a facility. We have a truck that sits in our yard and my office in my house. We used to have a facility. We used to have a warehouse in the 1990s in Vars. We had 20 people full and part-time working for us. We had a partner, but we closed down our warehouse in 1999 after the markets had collapsed, when municipal blue box recycling came along and the markets weren't prepared and everything, all the markets collapsed for everything. A lot of our competitors went out of business. We survived. But in 1999, we made a deal with Cascades that we would close down our warehouse, bring all the material and just empty it out at their place, and that was it. We would become a collection-only company like we were originally, and we would go back and be a collection-only company. So now there's just my husband and I again. He works part-time, goes a couple of days a week to do the recycling, and I run our office out of our house. They want to see a facility. So I called them and I said, we don't have a facility, we have a truck. And if you want to see the materials, because I assume that's what you're calling about, is the materials we collect, you'll have to go see him when he empties out in Ottawa, because when my truck's in my yard, it's usually empty, so you won't see anything. So then they came back and said, well, then they wanted to do they didn't want to do a truck inspection, then they wanted to do a site inspection. They were bound and determined they were going to come to our address on 1540 St. Mary Road in Embrun and see what we had, even though we have no facility and we have no site, and they didn't really care about our truck. So they said they were coming on February 7th regardless. So we went and we got our lawyer, and he sent them, on February 3rd, he sent them 15 questions that we wanted answered. And they sent back a response that they would answer those 15 questions after they came on February 7th. And we're still waiting on the answers to those 15 questions. They never answered them. So we decided there's not much we could do. We couldn't prevent them from coming. But that's a great thing about belonging to groups such as the CLF and the Ontario Landowners Association. I put out the call, and on a really terrible, windy, blustery day, so many of my friends, and many of them are here today, came out and stood outside with our signs saying, back off government, this land is our land, get lost, and we greeted them. And these two women, MOE environmental officers, and they're dressed in their flags and everything, arrived, and they came out, and then we went up to them and we asked them what it was that they were there to inspect. Since they wouldn't answer, that was one of the 15 questions. Since we don't have a facility, we don't have a site, we've only got a truck, and you're not interested in seeing material, what is it that you want to see? And she looked around and obviously saw there was nothing but our truck, and she said, well, the truck then. So they took a picture of the front of our truck, they took a picture of the side of our truck. By the time they got around to the back of our truck, they saw some blue recycling containers that had been pulled from contracts that had been canceled and are sitting in storage. They're full of ice and snow. They haven't been opened all winter. They're just empty. And she asked what they were there for, and we told her. And then she pounded and chipped the ice off of one and opened it up, and sure enough, it was empty. And then she turned to John and said, and pointed at the 20, 25 others lying around, saying, I'd like you to go fight your way through snow and open up all the lids on them. And he goes, no, if you want to do it, you go ahead. I'm not doing your job for you. And I think that ticked her off a bit. She opened 4, and in the 4th one, she happened to find one single empty pop bottle. And she goes, aha, this proves that you were lying to us because you said these containers were empty. One of my brothers was there, and he said, oh my goodness, call the police. And she said, we are going to. And they did. They went, got back in their cars. 10 minutes later, we had 2 cop cars, a cop car and an SUV at our place. They talked to us for like 3 minutes. And then they went and froze their butts standing outside the MOE car while the girls are nice and warm inside, and talked to them for at least half an hour, 45 minutes. And the next thing we know, the MOE car is driven away. The police came over to us, and the older guy said to us, you know, that many people can be really intimidating, eh? Next time, maybe don't have so many, and they'll be contacting you again. And, well, so whatever. So they left. I called the police that evening to get their report, and apparently, because there was a ministry involved, I have to go through access to information because, as the officer told me, stuff has to be redacted. So unless we go to court, we'll never know what it was that the OPP told the MOE to leave. But we saw with all the arm waving towards our property, and them saying, you can see there's nothing going on here. This is a private property. We need a warrant. You need a warrant. So they left. The next day, my lawyer sent them his thoughts on the whole incident. On the 14th of February, a week later, my lawyer sends us an email that he got from the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General lawyer there was saying that all this letter said was that we ran a waste management system, and that because of that we were not compliant with the Environmental Protection Act, such and such a thing. Well, we said, you don't have a waste management system. If you go and Google on a computer waste management system, what will come up is a thing for a computer program, and it says right there, it's for transfer stations, it's for garbage dumps, it's for processing facilities, it's for municipal blue box. It has nothing to do with recycling and ICI, the industrial, commercial, institutional recycling programs that we have. We have always, in 34 years we've been in business, we've always fallen under the 3 R's initiative. You remember? Reduce, reuse, recycle? We were all brought into that in the 90s. Now they've taken it and lumped it under waste. The only problem is, if you look at the definition, the legal definition of what a recyclable material is, a material is not considered a recyclable material until and unless it's pulled out of the garbage. So how can you put something that's been pulled out of the garbage, how can you put a definition on it again of waste once it's been pulled out? You can't. And if paper that's been written on falls under the Environmental Protection Act, why doesn't brand new paper? What's the difference? Just because it's been written on, it's more dangerous? And if empty bottles, empty cans fall under the Environmental Protection Act, wouldn't the full ones be even more dangerous, and shouldn't they fall under the Environmental Protection Act? Meaning we all need to have special licenses to go pick up our groceries. Of course not. It's nonsense. These people are reaching and stretching. And the reason they're doing that is because on the day that we had to respond to their initial letter from January 23rd, we had until January 30th. On that very day that we were going to respond, I happened to get a call from a waste consultant that we've known for 30-some-odd years. She's a good friend of ours, and she happened to be doing a waste audit for one of our biggest clients who own 2 big office buildings downtown. And they showed her an email that they had received from an Ministry of Environment officer from Scarborough that said that our customer was not allowed to use our services because we were a waste management system and not compliant with the MOE. This was given to them, this email is dated November 10th of 2016, and he says as per this previous discussion, so we know they talked about it even before then, yet we were never notified of anything until January 23rd, and at that time, we were told they were being proactive. And so when I got this note, when Angie had told me this, I called the girl in Cornwall, and I said, if one of my customers does a waste audit for the MOE, are you guys going to call my customer and tell them that we are not compliant? And she goes, oh goodness, no, we're not allowed to do stuff like that. And so I got off the phone and we talked it over, and that, so then I called her back and I said, can you send me that in writing, what you told me this afternoon? And she did. So I have in writing an officer from Cornwall saying that the officer in Scarborough was not allowed to do what he did, and we know that. That's slander, that's libel, that's defamation, everything he did. And so now the question is, why is this happening? They only have concern for my biggest contracts, and gee, those two contracts just happen to be going for tender for the first time in 4 years. Actually, they've never gone to tender. We're the only recycling company that has ever serviced Plaza DeVille and Jean Edmonds Towers. And other companies don't even get a chance to bid on the tender because they just automatically renew it with us every 4 years until this year. Now, it's due. They notified us about our being non-compliant right before our contract is due. Our customers have extended the time frame to allow us to get things straightened out with the Ministry of Environment so we can become compliant, even though we're not a waste management system, and we fight it just based on that. It's like telling a judge that he's really a lawyer. How pleased or how proud do you think a judge would be if you called him a lawyer? How insulted would it be if you called you a lawyer? Well, we're not garbage men. We are recycling. We are actually the pioneers of small business recycling. We trained our customers how to source, separate material, and we're damn proud of it. And here the Ministry of the Environment is now saying, oh, no, you're just waste company. Screw you. And so what do we have to, so our client says, well, why don't they just go and do what they say? They want us to go online and sign up on this waste management registry online. Oh, but wait a minute. We keep asking them, what exactly is the punishment if we don't? And what is it to my client who we've been servicing for 20 some odd years? If he decides not to follow what you say, what are the punishments? They won't answer those questions for us. So I've gotten Jack McLaren, MPP. He's gotten involved for me because our Liberal MPP, Grant Crack, won't do anything. And Jack actually talked with the environmental officer from Cornwall, and she told them that we have to go sign up, to be compliant, we have to go sign up and pay them $1,000. $1,000. Now, what's it called when you don't get a product and you don't get a service, but you have to pay $1,000 just to continue operating the way you've been operating for 34 years? Isn't that extortion?
Yes, you've been screwed. Cash for access.
And what do you call it when an Attorney General's office gets involved in something that hasn't even gone to court and doesn't offer remediation, doesn't ask for our side of anything, just, oh yeah, and that's the other thing they said, the Attorney General's letter said. It said that we obstructed the MOE from completing their inspection. And we videotaped it all, and I have 14 witnesses. We did not obstruct them. Who obstructed them? The police. Yeah. But they're blaming it on us. So, why is this all happening?
Dictatorship.
It's happening because they're trying to cover the ass of one of their officers that did something he was not allowed to do. Now, why did he do it? Well, he's from Scarborough. Well, some of our big competitors, we compete against Miller Waste, we compete against WMI, we compete against Progressive Waste. Those are all waste management companies. We're not. We're the only ones that specialize in recycling services. We do not handle garbage. And if John comes across garbage in one of our containers, he pulls it out and leaves it at the customers. Cascades has never rejected any of our loads. We've got tons of proof of way bills from emptying loads at their place, and we provided 2 years worth of those way bills to them. They cannot find one single way bill of us taking anything to a dump, but they still insist on calling us a waste management system. So we were thinking it all has to do with maybe this Scott Steves has a connection to one of my competitors. But then we discovered that in December 30th of 2016, David Reevely did an article in the Ottawa Citizen, Ontario plans new recycling and garbage rules in pursuit of a circular economy. So John and I tried to make our way through it the other day, and we just get so upset because they just blab on about the same thing they've always blabbed on. They used to call it the 3 R's program, now they're calling it something else. And it's going to do away with our business. Basically, if we understand it, they're going to take all the waste management companies and you have to now sign up with a certain other committee or something that they're going to form, and it'll be a public-private partnership, and you won't have a choice. meaning we're going to become communist. When you have no choice but to have the government as your partner, you can't have your private business anymore, we're going to become communist. And that's what's heading down the pipe for us. Our recycling programs, as you know them, apparently they're going to be gone. And I don't know what they plan on doing. I don't think they even know what they plan on doing. But it's coming our way. And we think that this attack on our small business and the refusal to call us a recycling company and treating us like a waste company is that they're going to try and push us out. Because they know they're going to sooner or later anyhow. So, where does this all stand? The way it stands now, my customer's sitting tight. Oh, yeah, that's what else happened. I was going through a bunch of papers that I happened to keep about our history of branches, and one of the things I found was a notice that we ran in the local paper, Russell Villager, in January 1999, notice of proposed operation. And at that time, we were looking at possibly processing the blue box material at our warehouse. And we were working with the Ministry of Environment at the time, and it even has Cornwall's address and everything here for people to complain to if they had any problems with our public notice. So that proves what we were saying, that the MOE was working with us, and the same gentleman that was working with this, 3 months later, we had to deal with Cascades and closed down our facility. We didn't get the blue box contract, so we closed down our warehouse, so we didn't have need of a certificate of approval because he told us, your collection company, recycling collection company, you aren't dealing with waste at all, you don't need a certificate of approval. How many years later? 18 years later, they're now telling us we need a certificate of approval and to pay them $1,000 just to do what we've been doing for 34 years.
Shame.
Shameful. Yeah. Shameful. And we're going to be taking them to court. We're definitely going to be launching a lawsuit against the Scott Steves for defamation. The officers from Cornwall have broken just about every code of conduct that there's a code of conduct that all public servants are supposed to follow. They've broken just about every piece of their code of conduct. But it's expensive to launch any. We've already had one bill from our lawyer, and there will be more to come. But if we don't stand up and fight, we will definitely become a total fascist state. This is how it happens.
We already are. They just drag it out of that.
Yep. And so on that happy note, this is one of the reasons why it is so important to belong to groups. And I thank goodness that I do belong to so many good groups, and so many people that are in one group are in the other group as well. And it is so nice to know when they come for you that you've got someone there that's going to come and help you. Thank you, Ontario landowners. Thank you, Canadians for Language Fairness. Appreciate it.